So the social media is garbage in, garbage out. I was in Zanzibar attending to inter-parliamentary union meetings when that information went out that the Senate President has said he will approve a brand new plan for the President, irrespective of whether there is suffering or no suffering. There was never a time such a statement came from me, because I've never had any correspondence to approve a plan or not to approve a plan. And I did not want to answer, but they went further to generate it, and then they went wrong as if I was saying that I did not care about the Nigerian people, I did not do this. We care about the President, we care about the Nigerian people. We will approve things that will benefit the Nigerian people. We will approve things that will improve the living standard of the people. At the same time, we will also take cognizance of the duties of Mr. President. If his vehicle is bad, we will repair the vehicle. If his plane is bad, we will approve money for the repair of the plane. So that is not an issue. There is nothing before us. I don't think you should bother about it. Somebody called me and said that he was quoting from BBC, that what I said in Senator Mongunu's house, that the statement was false and should be disregarded, that I was now saying that I will not approve. That is what you may call anticipatory blackmail. The purveyors of the story know very well that maybe there is problem with the presidential fleet, and that where they will go to will be the parliament. And so they are now trying to do anticipatory blackmail to tell us, if they bring it, do not look into it. So I think that we should ignore them and focus on what we are doing here. I've read the President's correspondences to us. There was nothing touching on plan or no plan. But I can tell you that when you hear stories such as the death of the Vice President of Malawi as a result of defective plan, and then you hear stories such as the death of the President of Iran as a result of defective craft. In fact, this time it was a helicopter and all that. We shouldn't ever dream and allow such to be a portion. It won't be. The Senate is very responsible. The National Assembly is very responsible. We will look into issues that will benefit the governance of the country, irrespective of anticipatory blackmail. Get the words, anticipatory blackmail. They know very well that something like that may come in future, and if it's a necessity, the Senate will look into it. But there is nothing like that before us now. So they can go ahead, anticipate, and blackmail the Senate President. It will not affect me. Minority Leader, you may wish to second, not what he said, but just second the motion that we adjourn for about 1 hour to come back to approve the votes and proceedings of this August chamber. Proceed.
Order. Mr. President, in closing, I want to say that the Senate is aware of some insinuation in a section of the media, to the extent that the President of the Senate, leading this Senate, either had at one time indicated that we had a request that the purchase of a new plane be approved for Mr. President, and that the President of the Senate had indicated that regardless of what Nigerians were going through, that would be approved. That was one. And the Senate is also aware that Mr. President tried to clarify this issue, that at no point did he say that. Then another section of the media picked on that again to say the President of the Senate, again leading the 10th Senate, has said whatever Mr. President likes, he should go and do. This Senate will not approve the purchase of a plane. And as we sat here today, A section of the social media had also been circulating that we had gone into an executive session to discuss about the presidential request for a new plane and how we're going to approve it. Mr. President, the essence of my saying this is just to make it clear and to alert Nigerians that there is the presence of a fifth columnist and some other propagandists who are doing everything possible to destabilize this country and also destabilize the parliament. Mr. President, I say for the record, as the leader of this Senate, that there is no request before this Senate as of yet. So there could not have even been a basis for us to debate whether we are going to approve or not. It had never been discussed either on the floor of this Senate or among individual senators or at the executive closed session. There is no such request. If the request comes, it's not about Mr. President of the Senate alone. It's for 469 elected representatives of the Nigerian people to discuss and take a position. 360 in the House of Reps, 109 in the Senate. But as we speak, Mr. President, there is no such request. And I just want all of us to be clear about this. I thank you, Mr. President.
Well, distinguished colleagues, the 2023 Appropriation Act Amendment Bill 2024 SB 489, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
To enable us to discuss some urgent matters. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Results into an executive session to consider some items of public interest.
Distinguished colleagues, a motion has been moved and seconded that this August chamber do resolve into an executive session to consider matters of urgent national importance. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Your Excellency, the chamber is ready, sir.
The Senate, in a closed session, deliberated on matters relevant to the workings of the Senate, in particular, and the National Assembly in general. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the closed session? Leader of the Senate.
24 SB 489. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Distinguished colleagues, the 2023 supplementary.
The President of the Senate sitting at chair that refers to the plenary to